Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you've invested so much energy into someone who didn't appreciate you? Have you felt desperate for their attention, validation, and love, only to end up hurt and empty? What if you could regain control over the situation and make them regret their actions? What if you could not only regain your self-worth, but also have them come crawling back to you? The idea of making someone who has hurt or neglected you yearn for your presence can seem like a distant fantasy. However, truth is, by changing the way you think, behave, and interact with them, you can shift the dynamic. In fact, by focusing on yourself and reclaiming your power, you can make them come to realize what they've lost. This process doesn't involve manipulation or petty games, but rather an intentional shift in mindset and behavior that makes you more attractive, independent, and irresistible. In this video, we will explore the proven strategies that can help you regain control of your emotional life and create a sense of mystery, value, and intrigue that makes someone realize their mistakes and come crawling back. These strategies are rooted in self-empowerment and emotional intelligence. They are about reclaiming your worth, shifting the energy in the relationship, and making them wonder what they've lost. Let's dive in and discover how you can make someone regret their actions and seek you out again. Stop chasing and take back your power. The first and most important step in regaining control is to stop chasing the person who has treated you poorly. The moment you stop seeking validation and stop putting yourself in a position where you are constantly pursuing them, you begin to take back your power. This may feel uncomfortable at first. After all, you might have been conditioned to seek their attention or approval, but it is the most effective way to shift the dynamic in your favor. By pulling back and focusing on your own growth, you create an emotional distance that forces them to feel your absence. People are naturally drawn to those who are not constantly available to them. And the fact that you are no longer chasing them will make them start to regret their action. They will start to miss your presence, and the emotional gap you create will trigger curiosity and longing. Have you ever noticed how someone becomes more appealing when they seem out of reach? When you stop giving them the validation they took for granted, they will begin to feel the void. This shift makes you more attractive because it shows you are no longer dependent on them for happiness or self-worth. They will start to realize that the chase is now on their side, and it will make them reconsider their action. In essence, you reclaim your power by choosing to stop chasing. 2. Craft a new identity. Become unrecognizable in the process of regaining control. One of the most effective strategies is to craft a new identity for yourself. This is not about pretending to be someone you're not, but rather shedding the version of yourself that was dependent on someone else's approval or affection. When you transform into a stronger, more self-sufficient version of yourself, it makes you unrecognizable to the person who once took you for granted. This shift in identity creates a sense of mystery and intrigue. They no longer recognize the person they once had in their life. You are no longer the same person they may have dismissed, neglected, or taken advantage of. By reinventing yourself, you become someone they need to figure out again. This makes them curious about who you are now and what they've missed. The more you focus on your own growth, emotionally, mentally, and physically, the more they will begin to regret their actions and wish they had treated you better. How many times have you found yourself drawn to someone who seems to have changed for the better? Someone who is now living life on their own terms. This new identity, one that is no longer defined by them, makes you a mystery, something they need to understand. And as they begin to realize that they no longer know you, the curiosity to reconnect will grow stronger, making them eager to come back. 3. Change your energy field. Shift from neediness to calm, centered power. Neediness is one of the most unattractive qualities a person can have. It creates an energy of desperation that is repelling and signals insecurity. If you want to regain control and make someone regret their actions, you need to shift from neediness to calm, centered power. The moment you stop needing their attention, validation, or approval to feel whole, you change the energy around you. You stop chasing and start living in a way that makes people want to be near you. By focusing on yourself, your goals, passions, and personal development, you create a magnetic energy that others are drawn to. This shift from desperation to self-sufficiency makes you much more attractive. As you start to live with confidence and self-assurance, people, including the one who took you for granted, will feel the difference. Your absence will be felt, and they will begin to crave your attention again. Have you ever noticed how people are drawn to those who exude inner peace and confidence? When you stop needing others to validate your worth, your energy becomes magnetic. You no longer chase people. They start chasing you, wondering what changed and why they now feel the absence of your energy. 4. Invoke the scarcity principle in reverse. One of the most effective psychological strategies to make someone regret their actions is invoking the scarcity principle in reverse. The scarcity principle works on the idea that people value what they can't easily have. By making yourself less available, you create a sense of urgency in the person who once had free access to you. They will begin to feel your absence and wonder what they've lost. The key here is not to disappear entirely, but to stop being constantly available. By not always being there when they expect you, you shift the dynamic. You stop showing up on their terms and start prioritizing yourself. When someone who once took you for granted realizes that you are no longer easily accessible, they will begin to feel the void. This psychological shift will cause them to question what they've lost and will drive them to reach out to you again. Think about how you feel when something you once had easy access to becomes unavailable. That sense of loss creates a desire to reconnect. By making yourself scarce, you force them to chase you, and as they begin to realize your worth, they will come crawling back. 5. Challenge their ego. Stop seeking their approval. Another powerful strategy to regain control is to subtly challenge their ego. When you stop seeking their approval or constantly catering to their needs, you send a message that you no longer need them to feel validated. This shift in behavior can be disorienting for the person who is used to you seeking their validation. By no longer putting them on a pedestal and no longer feeding their ego, you create an emotional void that they will want to fill. Their ego will be challenged because they will no longer have the power they once did over you. When you stop giving them the attention they crave, they will begin to question their value in your life. This subtle shift shakes their confidence, making them seek your approval and validation once again. They will begin to realize that they no longer have the control they once did, and the need to prove their worth to you will become a powerful motivator for them to come back. How often do we see people seeking validation, only to find themselves stuck in a cycle of emotional dependency? By refusing to cater to their ego, you flip the script. Instead of seeking their approval, you challenge them to prove their worth to you. 6. Be unpredictable. Keep them guessing. Unpredictability is one of the most intriguing qualities that can make someone crave your presence. When you become unpredictable, shifting your behavior and keeping them on their toes, you create an element of mystery that draws them in. People are naturally curious, and when they no longer know what to expect from you, they become intrigued. This uncertainty makes them reconsider where they stand with you and begins to shift the dynamic. When you no longer play by the same predictable rules, they will start to wonder what has changed. They will question where they stand in your life and start to chase you to figure you out. By being unpredictable, you create a sense of uncertainty that makes them eager to regain your attention. Think about how people are drawn to those who don't reveal everything about themselves right away. This unpredictability keeps things exciting and leaves them wanting more. By adding a little mystery, you keep them hooked and make them want to come back to figure you out. 7. Activate their fear of missing out. FOMO. Have you ever felt like you were missing out on something great and wished you could be a part of it? This fear of missing out, FOMO, is a powerful motivator. When you stop being available and focus on your own growth and happiness, you make them feel like they're missing something valuable. They will begin to wonder what they are no longer part of and will feel the pull to reconnect. FOMO can be incredibly effective when you've created a life that is fulfilling and exciting without them. As they watch from the sidelines, they will wonder what they've lost and feel a growing need to get back in your life. By focusing on your own life and success, you activate their FOMO and make them come crawling back. 8. Master emotional ambiguity. Keep them guessing about your feelings. One of the most powerful tactics in making someone come crawling back is to master emotional ambiguity. When you keep them guessing about how you feel, it creates a sense of uncertainty that makes them anxious and eager to figure out whether they've lost you or not. By not reacting predictably and creating emotional tension, you keep them on edge and increase their desire to reconnect. Imagine how someone might feel when they don't know if you've truly moved on, or if there's still a chance for reconnection. This uncertainty drives them to seek clarity, often by coming back into your life to get the answers they crave. Plant the seed of doubt. Make them wonder if they've lost you. Lastly, plant the seed of doubt in their mind. By shifting your focus inward and not revealing too much about your life, you create a sense of mystery and make them question whether they've truly lost you. When you don't give them the closure they expect, they will begin to doubt their place in your life, and the uncertainty will drive them to seek closure by reaching out to you. This doubt will make them wonder if you've moved on or if they still have a chance, which will prompt them to come back and seek your attention. Conclusion: reclaim your power and make them come crawling back. Regaining control and making someone come crawling back isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about reclaiming your power, changing your energy, and focusing on your own growth. By shifting your mindset, behavior, and emotional state, you create a dynamic where they feel the loss of your presence and realize what they've taken for granted.